Well, there it is. Hello, Mr. Ed here. And today is Saturday, June 1st. Oh man, it's just been a crazy last couple of days. Let's see. We got Dennis Barney. I put a small swarm right inside my shop door last night. Did the rain give them sugar water and now I can't get my shop? Do Robert. You got Robert bees out there? It's been kind of overcast, a little bit misty this morning here at the Abbey, but um, it did give me a little break this morning. I ran in the back, and that's where I shot the thumbnail for this video this morning on the bees in the back. And if you'll notice, Bison, big dog, Mr. Red. Good morning, Bison. If you notice on the thumbnail, the um, bees are kind of bearding on the front, and typically that's because it's still early, 8 o'clock, and the nectar really still. Hey, good morning, Steve. Good morning. Hey, Evan. Good morning, all the way from North Africa. Um, uh, so the bees just aren't the nectar isn't flowing, so the bees are out there hanging out. But our tallow is it is in full swing right now. Hopefully, we're going to get about 2 more weeks of that to give the girls a chance to bring in some more of them groceries because I certainly could use them, especially after the dismal performance of last year's honey crop. So I'm looking forward to um, seeing what the bees are going to be able to bring in. Last year was not their fault. Good morning, Nancy. It wasn't their fault at all. It's just the Sanafel. Good morning, Jerry Yoder, Southeast Kansas. Well, good morning, Jerry, and thank you for joining me this morning. The last year, it had no the bees weren't the reason. It was all the tallow. Last year we had a late freeze, and consequently killed all our tallow blooms, and poof, it was a bad year. I can believe you bees, Mike. Good morning, Mike. Well, we got. Let's see. There's a couple of y'all watching. 37. That's awesome. Thank you. Hey, good morning, Mary Kay. Good morning. Hey, Robert. Now, Robert, I still didn't look to see when I'm going to be. What exactly how you can get to the Marshall, Texas place, but I'll find out that for you. Stuntman Pete, first time watch commenter, long time viewer. Thanks, Pete. How come you and the Randy ain't doing nothing this morning? I'm sure he'll be chiming in later on. Kathy Benson. Also, if it's Sunday, you got to be in Australia. Weather can be your friend or foe when beekeeping. Isn't that the truth? Lance Schultz, good morning from Fort Collins, Colorado. Man, beautiful place over there. Jessica Fairfax, good morning. Good morning, Jessica. Man, that's not awesome. 49 people. Wow, that's great. Um, uh, I honor see. Hope you're well. Thanks for teaching from Bedminster, New Jersey. Doris Hanson. Good morning, Doris. Good morning from North Carolina. Dadu. Thomas McCarley from Black Mountain, Western North Carolina. Man, I had a great time when I went to North Carolina and spoke to that conference. Way too wet for May. Yep. Keep your fingers crossed that the sourwood flower. I know that the sourwood's been blooming because somebody else reported to me that it was. 2002 BAM, Bad Bob's Bees Union Mills, North Carolina. All right. Bangladesh, Devan Alverson. Good morning. Stuntman Pina. We have something scheduled, but it's McCaffrey time. So yeah, that might be 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. I understand. Julie de Wagner. Good day from the Netherlands. All right. In fact, I got a buddy over there right now in the Netherlands. He's going to be doing a talk, not on bees, but on top. I can't remember what the subject Eric's talking about. So, Eric, if you're watching this morning, go ahead and chime on in. I'm going to be 25 foot in a tree getting a swarm out of an owl box this morning. Oh, man, I don't envy you that. But good luck and be careful. Visiting you from Indiana, Roy's Boys Bees. All right. Wayne Atchison from Birmingham, Alabama. Oh, man. Love passing through Birmingham. When every time we go out east, I pass through there. Jamie Steinman, Jason Walter. Good morning from Covington. Jason, man, you right here. When you coming over to the Abbey? Yeah, that humidity, like it's got to be about 110 right now. It's bad. Thomas, just the top tips of some of the sourwood are starting so far. Gotcha. I know that it's in some places. I got great reports on the sourwood. Good morning, Dr. Bruce from the Applewood Farm in San Antonio, Texas. White Smoke Honey. Hey, Mr. Head. Hope all is well from Palm Beach, Florida. Man, oh man, down in Florida. Nice. Pollen Hamster. Germany is speaking. Welcome and thank you for joining me this morning, Pollen Hamster. Let's see. Let me get a couple more comments as everybody's joining on. Savannah 5505. I have to look at you this morning. Sorry, brother. I'm still waiting for your visit here. I am still waiting. And of course, I need you to bring me some of all that honey from the many, many parts of your world travels. So, questions this morning or whatever. I'm looking at the screen, so hopefully I'll be able to answer the questions, and I've got a few things that I want to talk about. Nothing really much. Like I said earlier, it was I went out there and took that picture of the thumbnail this morning because I got back from Toledo Bend yesterday. Well, actually, on Monday we left to go to Toledo Bend up by Manny, and we fished, or I should say, tried to fish for 3 days up there. The weather on that Texas-Louisiana line, it was just awful. But all of Texas, well, not all of Texas, but eastern part of Texas and Louisiana, man, they have been getting hammered by bad weather, and we got to partake in some of that. Do you need a big for beekeeping? I need a big what for beekeeping? Cajun Homestead. We're having a monster honey flow here in central Louisiana. That's really what I want to show in the thumbnail. I've got probably 24, if not more, hives with 4 deep supers on them right now, and half a dozen with 5 of them on it. It's just incredible. Right before I left to go fishing on Saturday, Charlie and I had went and added some more supers. Selling queens out of mating nukes this morning in New York, Pennsylvania. Then doing paper merges with leftover mating. Wow, you got a busy day, Nancy. Rain ruined the flow here in Cisco. Yeah, I know you all have really been getting it bad over there, Dennis. I'll take a few prayers for better health these days. Nothing major, but should. All right, Dan. So I'll get you on my list, brother. Is it a good idea to spray one-on-one on HBH to encourage draw fresh comb on noobs? Well, if it's working, go for it. I always found that the best thing for drawn comb is a good nectar flow, a strong nectar flow, and I always wax my foundation. But feeding them, yes, it definitely encourages them to draw out the comb. Do you need a big yard for keeping bees? No, you do not. You can have a backyard, a small backyard, and bees will find the food. Sometimes you may have to feed them, but no. Having a lot of property is not a criteria or necessary to keep bees, especially if you're only going to keep 1 or 2 hives. How do you keep your bees from swarming from the Abbey? Well, hopefully, when I make my splits, that does it. But this year, because our flow was so strong, our privet now followed up by our tallow, but because our privet flow, our first flow was so strong, it didn't matter whether you split the bees, added supers. Man, we had subsequent swarms left and right, and that was part of the problem, the challenge that we faced this year. Um, Good morning, Phil. Uh, was these swarms happening even though we've taken the measures to prevent them? It's just part of beekeeping, I suppose. And so I will always remember that particular aspect about this year, in particular, about the bees, their behavior. That you put supers on them, you split them, you give them the room, everything, but they boom, they still swarm on you. Adding a new queen today. What's your method? Um, I don't generally add queens to my hives other than ones that I know that are queenless, and those are from cutout removals. And because the reason I don't know is because I don't go check on my bees. When I set our hives out there, they're on their own. And really, basically, the only time I check on them is when I split them or harvest honey. I am not a beekeeper that you would want to copy his methods. I'm a very lazy beekeeper, but my method works for me. So, adding a queen, I find that if the bees are queenless, they're going to take her regardless. Hey, good morning, Amanda. Long time no hear from you. Good to see you watching. Thomas McDill, hope you're having a blessed day. Every day is a blessed day for me. It starts with my prayers and it goes all the way to about 7:30 in the morning, and then my work day begins. But it always starts with a blessing of a day. Running water at the nursery today, 80s and sunny in Virginia. Bees are working hard on the clover here. Sourwood should be popping soon. Man, and that sourwood honey is awesome. I definitely love the taste of sourwood honey. It's got a since we don't have any of that down here, I always love getting it because it just tastes so good, and it's different tasting from what I'm normally. 76 people watching. Awesome. Thank you all very much. All right, so while I'm waiting for other people to chime in, um, Phil from Unwanted Feline Organization, he's the one that we did the video last week. Wait, let me see. Nicholas Sniper, I want to get some bees here in Sneedville, Tennessee. I live back in the country a little bit, but it's worth it. People can't get honey up here. You know, I've seen and read about those guys in Tennessee where they have a lot of trouble keeping bees because daylight can't penetrate the canopy of the trees, and how a lot of the beekeepers now are actually keeping their bees on rooftops where they get above the canopy of the tree, and it's actually doing good as far as keeping bees in there. Just something I'm throwing out there. I was the one that missed visiting you. Oh, Thomas, now I know you are. Well, make sure when you come back, you get in touch before so that we can visit. I did my first extraction this month, started the season with one hive. Thanks for videos on splits and so on, up to 6. Awesome, Deborah. Awesome. Hey, Terry, good morning. Can bees live good in West Texas? Of course they can. They might be Africanized, but they're good. My buddy Tony Adrick from Everything Beevac, he keeps bees, and he's right in Austin. He's got a bunch of beehives. Do you sell and send honey in the mail? I do, not normally, but if for those who would be interested in buying some Abbey honey, I'll put a link in the description of this video of the broadcast so that you can then buy some honey if you would want to. But yeah, I do sell it to viewers since online you cannot buy the honey from the gift shop. So I do it for our viewers. William Smith, I placed a hive with some old comb in it. I had a swarm come into it. It's like putting old stuff into old bee boxes. and it's like almost a guarantee you'll catch a swarm. Not a guarantee, but almost. And this year, our bees have been swarming so late, man. It's like, I, that's why I stopped the competition with Rooster because he is killing me on the swarm competition. But I keep on catching these swarms in traps, old traps that have just been out there. In fact, I I had set a box on the back of the honey house before I left to go to Toledo Bend this week, and bam, I come back and I got bees in it. It's just a crazy, crazy swarm season this year. Hey, Kenny, good morning. Windy Ridge Bees, Hasbuzz, Homestead. Good morning. I love the dark colored honey because I find that to me it's got a fuller body. Like a dark bee, it's got more body to it. The honey, in my opinion, that's darker. To me, it just has a taste, as opposed to something that's just sweet or. Yeah, so I personally prefer the dark honey myself. Fresh start this year. Bought a nuke, installed into three of my queen castles with the intention to make a split. Thought I'd wait till they make sales. Sure, it makes sense. I'm not the best guy to be asking opinion on how to grow bees. My method is pretty simple. You just do your splits in the early spring and go from it from there. Stuntman Pete, fall honey is the best. See, now that man has tasted a lot of honey. I got to go to an investors meeting, but great to see you too, brother. And I'm looking forward to the day when you make your way over here. How do you tell the difference between Africanized and the nice honeybees? They'll let you know because them Africanized. Not that I've experienced them personally, but I've seen lots of videos on them. They are not nice at all, and they stick with you half a mile, quarter of a mile, they're still on you. The bees I come across, they aren't like that at all. Steve Beck, it's raining here in Midwest Illinois, so a perfect way to spend the morning. All right, thanks for joining, Steve. Thank you for that blessing too, as well. LC Jubilee, we're going into our winter now. What? Good luck with your honey harvest. Oh my gosh. Tom Pearson's from Southwest Louisiana. What percentage of swarm catches do you manage to keep? All of them. They like what Mr. Red puts up. Do they have immigration papers? Nah, they're illegal, that's for sure. Yeah, they're definitely illegal. And most people they don't want to have anything to do with the Africanized bees, but there are a number of beekeepers that being that that's all they get, that's what they'll work with. And my buddy Tony, he's one of those guys. Russell Caskill, when do you expect starting pulling supers? Well, if I had been a little bit more had more time on my hand, I would have pulled supers a month ago, and had the boxes already with drawn comb. But instead, I just kept adding supers to them because I didn't have the time to pull them. But I will be pulling the honey. Our tallow is going to be ending 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It'll be over with, and at that point, I'll start pulling our honey. And this year, I know that, oh man, I've got 150 or 170 honey supers out there right now, and I'm going to have to make two actual harvests because I can't pull that much honey into our house right now. So I think if I get about 75 per pull, that's what I'll be doing. So we might be making two honey harvests this year. It really, I can't really judge on the poundage of honey, but so far the best harvest I've ever done was about 6,000 pounds of honey, And I really think that this year we're going to we're going to beat that one. And I'm not even really trying to beat it. It's just our flows were just so strong this year. And I know for many people in the area that I live here in Southeast Louisiana, many beekeepers all face the same problems that I did, that you run out of equipment. Absolutely no more equipment in your yards. And uh, don't worry, Phil, I'll call you up because I need a strong guy out there with us. Um, this year, it is the absolute best year that I've had as far as bees drawing comb. We were hurt with storms pushing through southeast Texas, knocked a lot of tallow blossoms off the tree. Yeah, uh, like I posted the video 2 nights ago when we were in Toledo, and that wind that night was blowing between 80 and 90 miles an hour, and then uh, that was on Thursday, on Wednesday night, and then on um, Tuesday, we had winds on the lake over 70 miles an hour. So I know you guys in that part of Texas and really the Houston area, all that, and hopefully I'll have my buddy Jack Flash come on and give me a report from the Tomball, Houston area, because he's a wrangler like myself, and he does bees all the time, takes cutouts, does cutouts. I've been watching, but not posting much. Oh, good. Thank you, Amanda. Oh, I'm so sorry, Amanda. Wow, so sorry, Amanda. And thank you for still continuing to watch in spite of your tragedies. So how many hives do you have now? Way too many. I want 150 is what I want, and we're at about 220. So I am actually selling bees. I got to get the number down because it's too many bees for me and Charlie. Um, so I got to get rid of some of them. So the when I'm trying to think, when this year I started out, I had ordered a pallet of morning, Michael. I had ordered a pallet of frames from Premier Bee Supply in March. They had delivered it in March, and I got, so that's 810 frames. I got that. In fact, I showed that was on one of the videos, um, and and then I ordered another pallet from them in April. I ordered another, so that was now 1,600 frames, and then in March I ordered another 300 frames, and um, so that's almost 2,000 frames that I ordered and put out, and I can almost guarantee, because of our flow is so strong this year, that all those frames have gotten drawn out. It's just been an incredible year. Now, remember, I order the frames that are triple coated, triple waxed. Um, uh, so they really do jump on that stuff and draw it out. And so I always recommend, if you're going to buy frames, make sure you get as heavily coated wax on them as you can. Nick D, quick question. How long is tallow in bloom? Tallow, because there's a lot of varieties of it. So it, it its season of bloom is long. It's like our blueberries. There's different species of blueberries. So you get early bloomers, mid bloomers, and late bloomers, and that holds true for the tallow as well. So generally, the you have a tallow flow of a good strong tallow flow for 2 to 3 weeks, and so we're in our second week of it. So I'm still hoping we get another week and a half of it. What is the latest you planted? The latest, I pull the last pull I always do in November, because at that point, any boxes that don't have capped honey on them, I'll leave out there until November, because I don't need the honey. And then that way I can capture some of the goldenrod honey. And in November, I go and pull all the hives that have three supers on them, get them all down to two, because by December, I want to be going through December with two deeps. And that way, the hives can build up, and then they're ready for splits in end of February, March. There might be two parties, Amanda. Did you get much of a fall honey flow in your area? No, it's always very, very, very light. We really don't. Some of the highs that I said that I leave out, they will collect the goldenrod. Last year we had a great goldenrod flow, so I did get a lot last year. But generally, it's nothing. It really is nothing to mount to. You are a brand yourself. Yeah, right. Okay. But thank you for that compliment. That's nice. Yeah. You know, all the work that I do, I do it for the monks. I have been retired now 15 years. I can't believe 15 years um, that I've been retired. And 3 months after I retired, I wound up coming to the Abbey, and it has just grown and grown and grown. And now I'm here. I actually come here 7 days a week. Of course, now I was going to be a monk, but God and Mona had a different plan on that. And so now I'm a married, happily married man, and with a beautiful, talented wife, and I still get to enjoy both the married life and the life that the monks live here, because I participate with them every single day. So my work is for the benefit of the monks. So all the work I do with the bees is all for the monks. So they own everything, all the equipment, all the bees. It's all theirs. I'm just a worker, and Charlie, Ralph, and everybody else that helps with us. We all do this to help the monks. So it's good morning, Dan. It's a great way of giving and returning the blessings that we have been blessed with. And the YouTube, yeah, YouTube, that still is Mr. Ed. So I do receive the benefits of that. But I also think that, good morning, Phil. I also think that, and the monks have told me this as well, that the monks receive a great benefit from the YouTube channel as well, because I promote, like, right here, there it is, St. Joseph Abbey. Everything I do is with the Abbey in mind. That no matter where I go, it is about the Abbey. And when I go and do presentations, in fact, one of my most favorite presentations is the journey, my journey of being the beekeeper here for the monks. It's I like to say it's an inspirational um, uh, presentation, because it talked about the challenges of growing a bee uh, colony, an apiary, and then the challenges um, of what happens when catastrophe hits and coming back and building up again. So it's just one of the talks that I do. Eureka Weaver from Louisville, Kentucky. Met you at Navi. Just love you. Thank you very much, Yuki. But I remember you, Yuki, because I remember everybody that was at the Navi. From Poland. All right, we got a Poland guy, beekeeper. Gunline Bees, good morning, Tim. Lisa, good morning. Can you tell us what the flows are and when? I mean, I know when our flows are, and It always starts in March. Uh, it begins with our blackberries, blueberries, going into April and May with that privet, and then privet followed up right by our tallow. And that's, that's the only really flows that I know, the ones here in Southeast Louisiana. The coffee from the Abbey gift shop is so good. Amanda, you buy that coffee from them? Yeah, the gift shop sells all kinds of stuff. Coffee being one of them, and it is a local um, coffee house here in the Covington area that makes a Abbey blend honey. And honey, that's me. They make an Abbey blend coffee, and they do sell that online in the gift shop. The gift shop sells a lot of stuff, but like I said earlier, they do not sell Abbey honey online. They sell it in the gift shop. In fact, today I got to go out there and bottle up more honey, because every 3 weeks, it's almost every 3 weeks, I got to bring them another 14 cases. So they really do go through that stuff. That those lotion bars, Amanda, those lotion bars, I bring those to Mona as well, because she loves the way those things work, and she always puts it on going to bed, and I smell that honey smell. It smells awesome, really good. um, so let's see. Okay, I forgot what I was talking about, but if you do want to buy, some of the honey, Abbey honey, you can contact me. Uh, go to the description in this video, and I will put a link to how you can buy Abbey honey. It would come from me. It doesn't come in a glass jar. I send it in a plastic jar, but you can order that through me. That's the only way that you're going to get Abbey honey, is that way. So getting back, I want to get back onto the um, the amount of frames that I put out this year. It's just it was just an incredible year, and it was also that part of our problem with our bees swarming. And world famous Mike Barry, he made several videos on this subject of, we just could not keep ahead of um, you better pray real hard for that, Terry. Um, we just couldn't keep ahead of the bees, even though we're giving them room, splitting them, they would still swarm, and it was just very, very unusual circumstance. Hey, good morning, Sean. 12 hives. Look, if I was one person, that would be too many hives for me. Uh, so 12 is a big number, Sean. So yeah, good luck with those things, keeping up with them, especially if your year goes like this one. And I'll say it again because I said it earlier. I left here on Monday morning to go to Toledo Bend, and I had done a removal and moved the box, but I set uh, another box right where I had the box, and obviously we're gonna come back and bees are in that swarm, moved into that one. And this morning, before I went online, I went through it, found the queen. Boy, she's a beauty, she looks Russian to me. She's black tiger stripe. Really. Good morning, Sherry. Um, and I added a couple more drawn frames and some um, plastic foundation that I waxed in there too. There were 3 really good frames of bees, but they had already started drawing, bringing in nectar, and some of it was already capped in 3 days. 3 days. It's just incredible this year. Now, when Randy and I do our swarm competition, um, neither one of us count swarms that we catch in our in our own bee yards, even though the chances are pretty good that they aren't our bees. That because bees attract bees. That's just how it is, and so we never count them. But I don't know if that was one of mine or not. But I do know this: if it was one of mine, that hive that they came from, that's okay because they already left the honey behind them, and so they can swarm now. So I'm interested in the honey, in the honey, and the swarms that I'm catching, that's nothing. Joey Riles up in Pine, Louisiana, he is. In fact, he posted another video today, this morning, about his swarm that he caught 3 days ago in a box that he just set out there right by his honey house, and he transferred them this morning. I am retired, Steve Beck. I'm a retired and small beekeeper. Do you let people volunteer to help with the honey harvest? We would love to do it just for the knowledge from the Midwest. It would be a good time to get away. Well, Steve, I will. I do. In fact, we have the bug farmer out in Georgia. He's come and helped us. I got Russ from Texas. He'll be coming this year to help us for sure. So I do have people come and help. So Steve, if you want, get in touch with me at my email address. That's oscelata@gmail.com. I'll put that link in the description of this video, and we can talk about it. Man, I'll never been able to pronounce this name. Geraldo Rivera. Do you notice much defensiveness increase with Russians? They are a bit more aggressive, but I've had Russians, and well, those were pretty mean. And in fact, yeah, I would say they are a little bit more aggressive than most of our other bees. But for the most part, I don't have any pure Russians anymore. So my bees are not very nice either. But I mean, they are and they aren't. It just depends on what's going on at the time. If we're in a flow, they're fine. If not, they may be aggressive. But then again, I do not go into my bees but a few times a year. I don't check my bees. I don't work my bees. They're just out there. They're the Abbey bees, and I have other things to do. What are bees' favorite pastry? Honey buns. That's terrible. I'll put the link in for the honey if for those that want to purchase some. Uh, Actually, right now would be a good time to if you wanted to buy some because I'm not doing something with bees every day right now. In fact, as our weather is heating up, I'm backing off even on the cutouts because the hot weather and me, we just don't get along. So unless it's an inside air conditioned job, I'm holding off on those things as well. But for a while, golly, I was doing 3 and 4 a week because. Good morning, Reggie. Good to have you aboard, brother. This year has been just so busy, and if you'll notice on almost all the posts that I've been doing, all of them are white comb because they're all new swarms. It's just been a very active swarm year, and I've been removing swarms that were very large swarms, and because the comb, even though it's relatively new, anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks old, I'm filling up 9, 10 frames of cut comb that I'm framing up. Morris Hansley, good morning. Oh, let's see, what else can I talk about? The I will say this. I did want to talk about the Arkansas adventure, but in Toledo Bend that we just got back from yesterday. Um, Good morning, Sherry. Good to have you this morning. Normally, the Arkansas Adventure guys, and if you go onto my webpage, the Studio B Productions, there is a a link there in their Arkansas Adventures, and that shows all of us guys when we go up to. Good morning from Romania, from Minnesota. Good morning, James. Wombat, good day to you too. And Aussie from Michigan. Good morning, Richard. Oh, look who it is, Nancy. Good morning. Yes, they did. If we missed it, we do apologize. Are you going to be at the slide? Yeah, I didn't talk to Jeff Brown yet because I was going to talk about that this morning, about the conferences that I'll be going to in the next 3 months. So as far as I know, I am going to that conference. I will be a speaker there, but I wanted to talk to Jeff before I got on live this morning to finalize that. But as far as I know, I will be in September, and I don't know the dates for. I think it's Hive Alive in Slidell, and that's in around mid-December. Joseph Demore, on your visit to St. Louis, did you get a chance to visit the Arch? I visited the Arch about 5 years ago. Me and my mom went up there. My brother lives just on the other side in St. Louis, so we did visit that. Hey, Amanda. What is this hot craze that people are putting honey on pizza? I put honey on a lot of stuff. I haven't put it on honey, but I put it on a lot of stuff. Fenwick, good morning from Oakley, California. Oh, good morning, Fenwick. Been a while since I seen you. Tim Rector, good morning from Indiana. So getting back to the Arkansas Adventure, guys. So we had been going to Arkansas for years and years. In fact, since 2009, and then 3 years ago, we went up to Alaska. I didn't make that trip, and I still get grief for that one. I didn't go to Alaska, but the four of them did. And then for the last 2 years, we've been going to Toledo Bend and catching crappie and white bass, trout, green trout, black bass, yellow bass, perch, freshwater fishing. And look at that, Joey, good morning. Last year, we just smoked them. The weather was just gorgeous. And don't forget the bananas on that, Wobbat. Hey, KY. Jennifer, that's KY, Jennifer. This year when we went, the weather was absolutely terrible. 2 out of the 3 days we got rained out of. The first day we got about a good 2 hours of fishing in on a full day. The second day we got about 20 minutes of fishing. But on the third day we got a full day, almost 7 hours of fishing. And on that day, we came back with, we had, I think, 70 crappie and about 30 bass. So that was a great day. But the first day, and like I said, the weather was really, really terrible out there. And there was actually, good morning from North Carolina. Good morning, Harold. The first day, there was actually the winds. We had winds gusts up to 70 miles an hour on that day. And there was a fatality, a boating fatality. 2 people died when the boat that they were in, and they all have those barge party boats. And so they're big, that canopy on the top is like a sail. And that barge flipped, and 2 people tragically were killed. And then 2 nights later, and I posted this video. If you go to my channel, you can see the video. It's a short video, only about 30 seconds. The wind was blowing 90 miles an hour right at the house that we were staying. I mean, and it blew that way for at least 20 minutes. There had to be tornadoes all around us. And the next day, we left the next day, and there were damage all around us. Not severe, but it was damage. So, man, Texas has been getting hammered with some really, really bad weather. Honeybees in space. I know you can keep that honey up there. Heck, that stuff never goes bad, Terry. Uh, let's see. So what else? Um, Next year, going back to the Arkansas adventure, next year we already decided that we're going back to Arkansas, uh, to our most favorite place, which was Gaston's on the White River. We'll get us a lodge up there and spend 3 days of catching rainbows and browns on light tackle. Man, it's just awesome, awesome fishing up there. Looking forward to going back up there. All right, let's see. Oh, we've only been on for 45 minutes. So I know I can stay on till about 10:30. After that, uh, I got to get going. So questions, come on. There's a lot of people watching out there. So come on, ask a question. I'm looking right now. And Terry, no more jokes. Swarm started building on bottom of deep swarm trap. What would cause them to do that? It's been my experience that when the swarm starts building under the hive, is because the queen never went into the trap, that she went on the bottom. And I've night, Phil, and thank you for joining us. Um, good morning, George. Uh, in fact, I've got a video. I posted a video of the swarm underneath the trap, and I removed the bees and caught the queen on the comb that they had already started building. Got back to the abbey, turned them loose, and as it turned out, there were two queens in that swarm. They um, they split when I tried to get them in the box, and I wound up catching the split that came off of that hive as well as the one with the queen. So I got two swarms off of one hive. So my answer would be the reason they go under it is because that's where the queen went, and that's where the bees went as well. She did not go into the mountain. Good morning, Tom. We're Rapid City. Wow, I knew you were on the road. How long y'all gonna be out there for, Tom? The paint job in the processing hut, does it have a name? No, we don't have a name. And I know, Nancy, that I still have not made the video for public. You guys, the members on the channel, have seen the full. Oh, look who it is! The California beekeeper chiming in. Jose, great to have you on, brother. Good morning, T-Bag. Good morning. John, what was I talking about? I forgot. You see, I read these things and I forget. Can you potentially harvest honey? I generally do it twice a year. This year, had I harvested early, I could have gotten 3 this year. We are in the Black Hills for the next 2 months. Man, beautiful part of our country. Beautiful part. Joe, you got a lot of names, don't you? All right, I'm reading comments right now. So if you have a question, it would be a good time to do it. From Central New York, we miss your swarm trap checking videos. This year, I did not have time. I was just way too busy to really deal with that. As it turns out, the traps that I had set last year that still were set out, let's see, 8. I said there were 8 traps out there, and 7 of those caught swarms this year. And there's still 2 more out there that I haven't even gone to look, and I'm afraid to go look because I know they're going to have bees in them. It's just been a crazy, crazy year for swarms, and it's been so busy as far as me trying to keep up with our bees, keeping ahead of them. I have not been even paying attention to swarms. In fact, I told Randy, I said, I got to bow out. He was so far ahead of me because he's catching so many of them over there. I said, no, I'm throwing in the towel. You win this year. I can't do it. How much honey should I leave in hives? I have a lot of uncapped nectar. Does that count? Oh, it definitely counts. For me, because our bees fly basically all year long, um, my I try to leave about 60 pounds is what I want my bees in November. I want to have about 60 pounds. My hives weighing about 60 pounds. If I know that, if they got that in there, and I just do a lift test. If I know that, they're good and I'm good. How many acres of grazing land do you need for a hive? That's a good question, and I don't know the answer to it. Because you definitely can have too many hives for an area. But I would say if you're not putting a lot of hives in any one place, you're still going to be good, good to go. Let's see. It says Miss Daisy had a good question. Where is the question? I don't see it. Morning, Bob. Yes, you have been busy with all those highs. Good time, Charlie, and his fish. Yeah, Charlie has missed a few videos fishing, but uh, I, I got the benefit of that too because he gave me fish, so I'm good. So here's a question: I have an original hive that had two swarms this season. The swarm bees are super gentle, but that original hive, yikes. So, and it's always, I think it's the the genetics that the queens carry, because they mate with different drones. That the the offspring of those queens, they can vary, and even more aggressive queens, the temperament of the hive can change because once she uh, draws from different um, sperm banks, then the temperament of the hive can change. So, I don't know a lot of the science behind that. But then again, I don't go full with my bees very often. So I always just generally consider my bees, well, they always have a little bit of mean to it, but not anything near Africanized where they want to get on you and stay on you. Look at that. Lee, good morning. Lee, how long have you been on? I never saw your name come up. Are your drone population still high? Yes, they're still high. And not only are they high here, but on the cutouts, and I point that out. I know I haven't posted a lot of those videos, but I point that out on the videos because in those highs, man, there are just so many drones, and I shake them off. I don't want the drones coming back with me. Too many drones, too many. Unwanted feline. We want to spray for insects. Is there anything safe to use around bees? That's a good question, Phil, that I don't have the answer for. I'm sure other people would be better suited to answer that question than me. Do you have more caught swarms so far than dirt? No, Dirt Rooster is whooping my pants. I I think I'm up to about 20 or 21, and Randy's probably over 30 right now. He is killing me. 12 hives per acre. I would think that's a good number, Harold. I really do. What was your best pound harvest? The best one was over 6,000 pounds, but this year I really think that we are going to be doing more. All right, Lee. Thanks for jumping in. Anyway, always a pleasure, and I know you make every effort to join in. Thank you, brother. See you soon. Yeah, seven dust ain't no good, huh, Joey? Yeah, because that's a really bad one for bees. Oh, you was late. I thought you was leaving, Lee. Merlin, good morning, Larry. Larry, one of my all-time greatest out there. He's been following along for a long time. And Larry, thank you for all you do for me. You lose any hives in the storm? The storm never hit where that video was taken. That was in Manning, Louisiana. So we were 250 miles from that. And I did a quick run this morning. Our hives here doing really good. Lord of Gangton. Do different flowers make different? Most definitely different. The source of nectar um, means a different taste of honey, And you can have different tasting honey from hives that are sitting right next to it, because it doesn't mean that the hives, even though they're in close proximity, that they are all going to the same nectar source. They'll get it from wherever they can, and that's where they get it. And so it can taste very different. That is one of the advantages of having just a few hives, because you can harvest your honey individually, selectively, and it will taste different. Whereas the way I do it, ours gets all blended. Now, I do for one of our yards, I do separate it out. I make a separate harvest for that yard, and I keep that separate. And this year, as it turns out, that yard is going to be one of our biggest yards, because we have um, about 50 something hives there. And I counted it on Saturday. I've got 49 honey supers out on it, and that's all deep supers. So we are going to get a tremendous amount of honey from that yard this year, and it'll be processed first, so it won't get blended in, and we will separate it out. What is your favorite flower type honey? I've got a lot of them. I love the sourwood. I love the tupelo. Um, I love the alfalfa. There's a lot of honey tastes that I like. Oh, and the one from Hawaii, the is it macadamia? I can't remember, but man, that's another great tasting. Good morning, Deborah. I get to go see my granddaughter's hives this month. Oh, good, Nancy. S'mores here for breakfast. What? How cold is it? Waiting for our friend to hit Yellowstone. Tar Heel, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. In Clearwater, Florida, Brazilian pepper honey. I have tasted that Brazilian pepper. In fact, Tim Hoffman, he's a big beekeeper. I'll follow Tim. He's down in Florida, and he talks about the Brazilian pepper honey as well. Man, Tar Heel, you a well-known guy. From Cleveland, Ohio. 81 thumbs up. Thank you all very much for that. 42. Goodness sakes. I wish 42 was right here, because then I could start doing some more cutouts. It's so doggone hot and humid, and it it's just miserable to go do cutouts right now. And I know Randy is doing a bunch of them, but he likes to wait till later in the evening. Me, I'd rather go early in the morning and catch the morning heat. My favorite honey is the stuff that comes out of the bottle. That's my favorite. I like a variety of honeys, like I just said, but I just like honey. And I know I don't show it all the time, but every single hive that I take out, I will eat that honey, because to me, that is some of the best tasting, right from the hive as I remove it. And I just taste, I don't know why, that stuff just tastes good. It just tastes good. We need more good time, Charlie. Oh, Charlie's going to be back. When I talked to him last night, because we were supposed to do a removal this morning. Beekeeper Captain, good morning. Um, uh, he told me, well, Jeff, I'll be back on the camera with you real soon, because the big trout are moving out, and so he's not going to be going fishing too much more. If it's on his finger, it goes to his. See, that's the good honey. I mean, goodness sakes. Mr. Ed, I see you talk to the bees, but can never understand them. What are they? Are they mumblebees? Oh, I understand them fine. They tell them if you get nearer, you're going to get hurt. And I respect what they say. You know, it is a shame that that's so many beekeepers aren't able to taste the comb honey. I mean, a lot of them do. But I am telling you, there is a different taste from honey that you pull from a cutout than honey in a beehive. Now, I'm still waiting. I haven't gone out to the long hive. Now those were the bees that I took off of that the external beehive, that big, massive beehive Charlie and I took out from up in the Folsom area. I still, in fact, I haven't gone into that hive. I've looked into the side of it to see if the bees are drawing that comb out, and they have. And in fact, I know when I do go in, and I am going to make a video on it. But I am going to go in there, and I am going to cut out some of that honey, and I am going to taste it to see if those bees have done a good job as the other bees. David's Bee Farm, watching Mr. Ed and the rain. Yeah, we've been having some nasty rain as well, David. Kodiak, going to goddaughter's birthday. Y'all have a good day too, Lee, and I hope you bring some honey for her. Harold Jones, I'm going to split a hive this morning. I hope to hive 3 hives going into winter. Well, good luck with that, Harold. I'm not a big guy on splitting once I do my splits in March, but sometimes sometimes you just got to. That's a good one, Terry, between rainwater and bottled water. Richard Ward, what's the best way to get bees to move into my supers? The best thing is to have a lot of them. To have, for me, waxed foundation, heavily waxed foundation, and then if you don't have a good flow on, start feeding them. At that point, they're gonna get up there and start doing it. Yeah, they will. I'm telling you, and that's what the problem that we had this year. That thank you, Lee. Oh man, Tar Heel, Easy Reader, Marilyn, Phil, and Jennifer. Oh my goodness, you were all gifted. That means you all now members of the channel, thanks to Kodiak Farm Bees. So Lee, thank you, brother. You guys, Easy Reader, you that's the second time you got gifted a membership, because I know you got gifted last time. And Marilyn is a brand new watcher. So Marilyn, you get to see some of the benefits of being one. And Tar Heel, I believe you were a member as well as also. Jennifer, good luck for you, and you're going to really enjoy the perks of being a member. Okay, is it okay to have 8 super stacked? Yes, okay. If the bees draw the comb, heck, I've seen pictures in olden pictures where they were actually stacked like 20 high. I've got about half a dozen hives right now that are 5 deep high. I mean, there's something. Would you build a Layens horizontal hive? I did build one. In fact, I just said I am going to make a video when I go into that hive. I am going to post a video on that, because I have not gone into the hive since I took the bees from that external hive, and I can't remember how long ago that was. 2 months, 3 months, I don't know. Well, Nancy, I'm sure that he won't have any problem stacking them that high. Have you ever combined 2 hives with a single screen, not a double, and rear inches? No, the reason that you have to use that double screen is because bees, if they are able to touch, and they can if it's only a single screen, if they touch, then the pheromone that they share from the queen is enough for them not to draw emergency cells. If the bees can't touch each other, and the box is one of the boxes does not have the queen in it, they will draw emergency cells. So it has to be double screened. David's Bee Farm. Out of all the removals you have done, do you have one that sticks out as your favorite? You know, there's always some that I will always remember. In fact, I can remember almost all of my removals. If I look at the thumbnail of the video, I can almost remember the video. But no doubt this year, my favorite was doing that the external beehive, the one that was in the tree 30 feet up, where Charlie and I were there. That was just the biggest external one that I've ever done. The most amount of bees, the swarm cells. It had all the elements of a wonderful beehive, and we were just fortunate enough to be able to the ones to remove it. And then now they're sitting here at the Abbey. Oh man, and like I said, I am going to do a follow-up video on that when things calm down a little bit, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to cut some of that comb, and we'll do a tasting. In fact, I'm going to get Charlie to taste it, to give you let somebody, non-biased person, to give their opinion on it as well. Lord Nagatron, thank you for making all of your videos. I truly watch late at night. Well, I'm grateful to everybody. I mean, members, subscribers, viewers, anybody that watches my videos, I am deeply appreciative of, because it actually humbles me that I get the attention that I get, because I know I'm not anybody with any special gifts, talents. It's just that I've been so blessed with just a gift of enjoying bees. I mean, I just appreciate them so much, and I hope that appreciation for bees comes through on my channel, because other than doing removals, I'm not really a beekeeper. I'd make splits, but I'm not like 90% of the other beekeepers with channels that showing you stuff, real stuff, about being a beekeeper. I'm just a bee wrangler, but I am greatly appreciative of everyone that follows along, and now that I've started the membership for the channel, I'm even more appreciative, because these people, not only do they watch the videos, but then they also support me financially. I mean, every month they will send me their $4.99, and that's just awesome, and I'm so grateful for that gift of that. And then I have other people super chats, and that just throw money at me, and I thank you all very, very, very much for it. Blanchard Bees, just popping in to smash like. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Go get them works. Volunteers for the tasting panel. Oh, Pete, you're more than welcome to come. And when Randy comes, you just ride along. Have Mike Barry do the taste testing. Hey, Mike posted, world famous Mike Barry just posted a video on a cutout that he and Charlie and I did together up in Hammond, and it was one of the houses built in the early 1900s. Really great video, and so go to Mike's channel and watch the video. Now, I still haven't posted the video that Charlie shot of that, but that's coming. I've got about 8 videos right now that Charlie and I have shot that I haven't posted, because we're just doing so many of them. So I've got a lot of videos coming up, but go check out world famous Mike Barry's version of the video that we did on doing that removal. And it's got something to do with saying that something with him using his everything BVAC. So it really was a lot of fun. Anytime Mike and I and Charlie would get together, it's going to be fun, and we always have a lot of laughs doing it. Am I the only in my second year? But you have been extra helpful, especially in your attitude. Oh, you're very welcome, Daisy. Robert L., you radiate positivity and happiness, and that really is. Oh, thank you, Rob. A lot of that has got to do with being retired. When when you retire and you do what you choose to do, your life is different. It's just different. It's so much easier, and so it most certainly helps in portraying an attitude of gratitude. So I have to say that is definitely part of the reason for that. But I think I've always been happy in my life. Uh, my mom always used to say, I was always the happiest of her children. All right, get back to work, brother. A little Aboriginal guy I was in jail with got me interested in bees. Now I'm stuck watching you guys. Wombat, yeah, I would love to. What part of Australia are you in? I've always, man, I just like the idea of going to Australia because it's just still very um, rustic, Western, like how the West used to be out here. And you guys have got such beautiful landscape and waters and the barrier reef. And I'm a big fisherman, was a big fisherman, and I follow a few Australians, beekeepers as well as fishermen, uh, because it's just so interesting. Cora Das, have a good day, and thank you for joining this morning, Cora. Newcastle. So Newcastle, I wouldn't even know where Newcastle is. I did see the video with the special ending. Pete, that was just for you. Now, the second one, though, uh, the first one, it still had the mohawk. You saw that? It still had the mohawk on it. And the second one, that one was all bones. And you saw the ribs and everything on that one. But when I saw those, you're the first person I thought of, Pete. I can't believe the Dirt Rooster has not signed on. Well, it is only 10 o'clock, so he might not be up yet. He might not be awake yet. Do feral bees have bad tasting honey compared to box bees? I don't think so. I love their honey. I really do. Um, I, I, the the problem that I have had um, in the past is that when you get these older colonies that have gobs and gobs of honey, that the older honey that is over a year old, will be crystallized. And so that does, I have issues with getting that out of the comb in the first place. And generally, what I do, if I do come across that stuff I'll just put out and let the bees harvest it, because by that time we're in a dearth and the bees they'll get all over that stuff easy. And there are a lot of people that have no problem with crystallized honey, especially if you put it in your coffee or your tea or whatever. Crystallized honey is no big deal, but um, I like to when I sell it in the gift shop, I always want it to be in the liquid state. So I keep honey in the warmer, keep it at right about 105 degrees. So I have liquid honey all the time. And all I have to do is just bottle it up and bring it over. And in fact, when I bring it over there, Susan, the lady at the gift shop, says, "Oh, it's still warm." I say, "I just milked them." So I definitely like selling the liquefied honey as opposed to crystallized honey. All right, we've been on for an hour and 14. So let's give it another 15 minutes. Your videos are well made, very informative. Enjoy them, and beekeeping is just a hobbyist. I've worked in the film industry for wow and met a lot of actors. Beekeepers are my celebrities. uh, well, um, thank you for that, Captain. You know what's really special? I think that here in the little area that I live in, southern United States, in that area there are so many YouTubers, YouTube beekeepers, and what's really great is I know a bunch of them, a bunch of them. In fact, the quilt on the wall right here, that's the one that Mona made for me. She made for me specifically so that I can get YouTube beekeepers. I could get their autographs and stick it on the wall. And I probably got 2 or 3 dozen names on that wall all over the quilt. And that quilt is very, very special. Mona spent a lot of time, a lot of effort on it, uh, putting it together. And uh, it's just very, very special quilt to me because she made it just for the honey house. Now, I know um, uh, I know that there are a lot of people that have asked about the quilt. Let me answer the question. My first and only extraction was for my Orthodox church. Thanks to your videos, we placed them in our tiny apiary and named them the innocents. Oh, very, very good. Great story, Dan. Great story. Vanished and forgotten. We just moved to a farm and set up 7 bee traps and put them lemongrass all outside of the trap and on the cotton. Haven't caught any swarms, but I see bees scouting out my houses. If they're scouting, there's a very good chance. I know, and there's a lot of videos on baiting swarm traps. I put several of them out there. My favorite things to put in a trap: um, old comb, old equipment, an attractant, lemongrass oil, some kind of attractant, and then I always say a prayer over them to get a swarm. And those are my 4 tricks, secrets to getting traps. So good luck on catching them out there. Thank you for joining us this morning, Terry. You hung in for a long time. That is a good story, Nancy. It is. All right, so I want to get back to this quilt. Now I know that my computer, which is the camera that I'm using to do it, it's not going to do justice to this video. But let me see if I can zoom in and see that. Have you ever vacuumed a cutout that was previously poisoned? How do you clean it? No, I have never done that yet. I have gone to cutouts where it was obvious that the bees were poisoned, and I did say ask, did you poison them? And they said yes. And I said, well, I can't help you because I'm not like that's a good thing to be concerned with. You don't want to get poison in your equipment. So now, and I'm not dealing with poison bees. That's I think that's asking for trouble. Yes, prayers do work. I've only caught 1 swarm. I can't wait to catch them all. Oh, you will, Corey. Keep setting them traps. You will. Brian, I had it on the calendar about the festival up there in Denham Springs, and it just happened that on that same day I was speaking in Mandeville, the Trailhead. I did a presentation, and so I couldn't do both, but I did want to get up there. those are all some great people to watch videos. Yappy, Dirt Rooster, world famous Mike Barry, Joey Rouse, um, JP the B Man. I mean, all these guys, and they're all local. If you live in our area, you can use the information you get from these guys and apply it to where you live. Man, I'd have loved. I didn't see that series, but that thing looks really good. To see now, even though you live in Minnesota, uh, they have a guy that watches me. His name is Jeff. Oh shoot, I can't remember Jeff's last. And he has a YouTube channel. Oh man, it escapes me now. Mike, if Mike Barry was watching me, he'd tell me who it is. Um, Jeff Hass. I can't remember his last name. Windy Ridge Apiaries, and I think that's the name of his YouTube channel. And he's in Minnesota, and he does a great job, especially for northern beekeepers, taking care of bees, overwintering them. So maybe you might want to check him. And I don't know what part of Minnesota he is in, but you might want to check that out. Someone asked me to take bees out of a 5,000-gallon oil. I pass. Yeah, I would too. No telling what that thing smells like. Yeah, I know because I've seen the videos that Jeff has posted on the winters, and he's walking in snowshoes, and the top of his hives are showing. So it's bad, but man, beautiful, beautiful country up there. Is that the land of 1,000 lakes? Is that it? Man, and it's beautiful. So let me see if I can get this camera a little bit closer to the quilt for you all to see some of the stuff that is on it. I don't know really how to do this very well. So there are all kinds of names on it. Let's see if I can even read them. I know world famous Mike Barry, Bearded Bee Works right there. G's Bees, that's Gary Ackerman. He's over in Oklahoma. Oh, there's Joey Rouse right there. Bob Walker, he's up in North Carolina. Oh, look at this one right here. JP the Bee Man. That's a blank one. Bohemia Bees. Oops, Bohemia Bees. Oh, look at this one right here. Ian Steffler and Frederick Dunn right there. But look at the work on this stuff. She really did such a good job on this quilt. And like I said, this camera isn't doing it any justice. I'm gonna have to do something different. All right, let me get back to all your questions. Patron of beekeepers and lovers, St. Valentine. Now, really, Joey, you know, there are four patron saints of beekeepers. You have St. Ambrose, St. Valentine, St. Abigail, and St. Bernard. All of those are patron saints of beekeepers, which is one of the reasons that why our honey house is called the St. Ambrose Honey House. Yes, he was a patron of beekeepers, but we also had a monk here named Ambrose, and he and I were very, very close friends. So I got to name the bee house after him. The Professor Fred Dunn. Hey, I talked to Fred, it was 2 weeks ago, and every time I talk with Fred, he is just a riot. And for me to talk to Fred, you can't call Fred. You have to call Fred's wife, who then will get Fred. So Annette gets Fred, and that's how I talked to Fred. And so it was me and Mona and Fred and Ned. We probably talked for an hour talking about who knows what we were talking about. But it's always fun time talking with Fred. So if and Fred's so busy he don't have time to watch most guys, but he uh he does watch mine occasionally. Hey Dennis, thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you very much. Yeah, Daisy, she just did an outstanding job. Now, when the um, honey season slows down a bit, and I get over to the honey house and show everybody all the labels on the wall, I also will be showing the quilt that Mona made for the honey house. Oh my goodness, that one is every bit as stunning as this one. Becky, who should I watch if I live in the state of South Carolina? Um, you know, I know, I know. There's uh, um, the Dishman, Daryl Dishman. He has a YouTube channel and does some stuff, but and he lives in South Carolina. He's the only one off the top of my head. Now, Randy, the Dirt Rooster, knows every YouTuber because he talks to every YouTuber, um, and so he is a better person to ask that question to. Um, but I do know Daryl does keep bees and has a YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, Deborah, and stay warm up there. Oh yeah, Bob Benny. Oh yeah, and Bob just posted a video yesterday or today. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, Bob Benny is another great one. Well, Nancy, I think you have seen it because that's the one in the honey house. Tom TFT. Hello. That's the one in the honey house. This is the one in the office. I'm just looking at comments right now. Marabella from Scotland. Wow. Sunny Scotland. I thought it rained all the time in Scotland. Marabella, do you have beehives? David Zarling. I'm watching from the North Woods of Wisconsin. All right. Yeah, Nancy, it's on the painted walls. That's right. Now everybody's going to be able to see the honey house eventually. I I have been so remiss with all the labels that people sent me and getting them on the on the walls in there and showing what Mona and I did in there, painting the walls, and it's all going to come out. It'll all come out hopefully before we do the harvest because I want to show that stuff before we do the harvest. That way, when we do the harvest, you all won't be going ooh and ah and watching the walls instead of what we're doing while we're doing the harvest. So hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I'll be able to get a video out on that. It really is beautiful in there. And once again, it's a Mona inspiration, uh, and she and I did all the paintings on it. I know it's a while from now, but looking forward to meeting you and others at the 2025. I am too. I am so looking forward to the next expo. Uh, for me, it is my best conference that I go to because so many people come uh, to that conference with the intention, one of the intentions of not only attending the conference but seeing all the YouTubers there, and because that is the biggest concentration of YouTubers on the planet, at least beekeeping YouTubers, and really well watched YouTubers. And this year I met some really great ones, new ones this year. And I know the two off the top of my head, Hamburg Honey and Black Mountain Honey from the UK. Man, I did a little video with both of those group, and it was just so much fun. So I'm looking forward to those to that conference a lot. Now, speaking of conference, I am going to be in a few different places over the next few months. In July 2nd, and I'll put this on some videos coming up. July 2nd, I'll be in Marshall, Texas. It's a bee club there, and I will be speaking there. And that is July 12th, I think. And then August, I think the 22nd through the 24th, I'll be in Pineville, Louisiana, speaking to the Louisiana State Conference. And then in September, I think it's the end, around the 23rd of September, I'll be speaking in Slidell. And that's going to be another great conference because a lot of big YouTuber names are going to be there. Last year, I remember it was Bob Binney, Corey Stevens, the Dirt Rooster, Mike Barry, myself. Man, who else? Who else? That's just the top of my head. So a lot of these people, the same people, are going to be coming back to it, and so that'll be another great one. And for me personally, Slidell, it's only 30 miles from my house, so it's a really really nice one. Hey Russell, thanks for joining this morning. You too, Fenwick. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been an hour and a half. I think it's time for me to go because I got to get some stuff going before mass this morning. So we're going to go ahead and end it. So thanks for watching. Keep on watching, and I will be making more. Thanks for watching. Keep on watching. I'll be making more. God bless. Mr. Ed, I'm out of here until the next video. Thank you all, everybody, for joining me this morning. See y'all soon. And we are out of here.